I'm going to show you how I added that colour onto the die cut panel there. You'll also notice in the background to dress that card up, I've used the music background stamp quite haphazardly, and look at this beautiful new shiny glimmer paper. This one's Merry Merlot in the new holiday catalogue, so I really love that. But before we get started, I want to show you something awesome about this fabulous, the die set that comes with Blended Seasons, is that we've got these beautiful shapes, but not only do you get these awesome stitched effect around the shape that you cut out, but it actually leaves the same effect, let's put it on the back here, the same effect on the negative section. So I really love that because that gives a really great effect if you're using that as a card layer. To have that stitching around really makes it pop, I think. So they're really versatile framelets. We don't actually have anything like this in the holiday catalogue, so if you're waiting for the holiday catalogue to see, don't, because we don't have a shape like that in there. So these are only available this month, either individually or you can buy them in the bundle with the Blended Season stamp set. So they are really great, really versatile, and something that I do think you'll get a lot of use out of. So I've used the middle one here to cut out this shape, and the cool thing is that the holly and berry stamp in the stamp set actually fits really nicely on the edge of that. So when I've coloured that, it leaves a really nice area that you can put that Merry Christmas banner down the middle. So I really love how that turned out. So let's show you a really quick and easy way to add that colour. The great thing about this is that we're using things that we're already going to have, either Stampin' Write markers, or you can also use ink pads. So because I'm using ink pads for colour in the next one, I'll show you how I would use Stampin' Write markers. So for this one, I've used Call Me Clover, Garden Green, and Cherry Cobbler. So again, I'm going to use the blender pens because it's quite a small area. So to use the Stampin' Write markers, you just get an acrylic block or something similar, plastic plate, anything really. Scribble on with the thick end of the marker, and you're actually picking that up with the blender pen. So it's just a matter of picking that up. Now when I'm colouring, I will go from colour the entire section with the lighter colour, which in this case is Call Me Clover. So I like this as it's actually got a little bit of a blue-green tint underneath it, so I quite like that. So we'll be going through and adding. I'll just do, say, three or four. So you don't even need the whole ink pad. You can actually just get away with having some colour from by popping some of the marker onto a block and picking up the ink. Okay, so it doesn't matter that it's uneven. I actually think that adds to the look we're trying to achieve. Now because this is dye-based ink, it's going to dry really quickly, so pop that one aside and we'll pick up the Garden Green. It's always a great idea to have some paper towel handy when you are using this, and I had a piece, yes, here it is, so that we can wipe that off the block. And then we want to start on our next one, which is Garden Green. So we'll pop that a little bit on the block here, or you could have left that on and I could have popped the other one up in the corner. So again, just picking up a bit of that green, and I want to add this sort of as a darker highlight up to in the ends and the middle bit there. And just blending my colours together as I go. So we'll just pop that down a little bit down the end as well. closer so you can see the effect that I'm getting. Oh, I forgot to mention that I'm actually using Shimmery White watercolour on here. It's a really great paper to watercolour on actually. It blends quite well, and it's also got a lovely subtle shimmer, and it's a sort of an off-white colour in between very vanilla and whisper white. And yeah, I find it great to watercolour on, and I know a lot of other demonstrators use it for that as well. So it comes in one of the specialty papers, and I think it's really lovely for Christmas with that beautiful shimmer on there. So that's what I've used today. And then the last one is the berries. Now you could either go in and actually colour these berries with the thin end of the Stampin' Up marker. Now you're going to get a really deep red there, as you can see there. Or what I did was I actually did the same as I'd done with the others. What I've done is actually used a little bit the cherry cobbler on the block and just picked up small amounts of that. And you can start off lighter, and then once that's dry you can add some highlights so you get a bit more variation in the colour. So I think you know that that's a bit of a lighter look, but you can add the darker one if you want to just by colouring directly. So that's how I got my colour. And once that's all dry, I just stamped my greeting on a different piece, and I've actually lifted that up. As you can see, it's actually gold embossed, and lifted that up. So that's how you get the effect with the Stampin' Up markers and the blender pen.